Bought a script writing program and everything.
My advice, put that thing down a while. We go get our joints capped, and tomorrow, the words will come blowing out your ass.
You ever feel like nothing good was ever gonna happen to you?
The Sopranos is an American crime drama series created by David Chase. It aired on HBO from 1999 to 2007 and is still to this day one of the network's most popular series. The primary focus of the show is Tony Soprano suffering panic attacks while trying to balance his mob lifestyle with his family life. The first 2 seasons of the show establish how comfortable Tony and his friends are in their criminal lifestyle, but this changes in the season 2 finale. One of Tony's closest friends and top earner, Sal Bopancero, aka Pussy, is caught working for the feds. Tony and his top men decide to kill him themselves. This decision will haunt them forever, which sets up season 3 in a big way. The overarching question of the series is, can I justify my actions? Many of the characters believe they can and do quite often. Season 3 turns this on its head, with the overarching season question becoming, did I make the right decision? Every major character is questioning a past choice that set them on their current path. Season 3, Episode 1 starts with our protagonist, Tony Soprano, being followed around by the FBI. The feds get a warrant to bug Tony's house, which makes us, the audience, think that they will be the main antagonist of the season. This is turned on its head, however, when Tony's mother, Livy, passes away unexpectedly at the end of the first episode. For a normal family, this would be seen as a tragedy that would alter the character's behaviors. For Tony, his mother dying is a huge relief since she would potentially stood trial against her son. Tony shows barely any reactions towards his mother's death and chooses to focus on his problems at work. This is where the season's real main antagonist is introduced. Ralph Cifaretto is a member of the DeMeo crime family that is currently lighting garbage trucks on fire, causing issues for the Soprano family. Ralph and Tony grew up together and started out in the mob around the same time. These characters are parallel to each other, with the big difference being how they responded to their life of crime. Ralph mentions multiple times during the season that he was supposed to become an architect, but had to drop out of school at 16 to provide for his siblings and mother. This is Ralph's biggest regret, and it haunts him to this day. He is often triggered when his current girlfriend's son, Jackie Jr., disrespects his mother and doesn't take school seriously. Jackie Jr. is Ralph and Tony's main obstacle of the season. Jackie is the son of deceased Captain Jackie Aprelli Sr., who made Tony promise to keep Jackie out of the family business before he died. While Jackie should be a pre-med student at Rutgers, he secretly flunked out and started selling drugs and trying to work his way up in the mob. While Tony is actively trying to keep Jackie Jr. out of things, Ralph is trying to involve him by giving him a piece and telling him tales of his early days in the mob. With Meadow unknowingly taking the wiretapped lamp to her dorm room, the feds have no place in the season, paving the way for our main conflict. The end of Act 1 sees Ralph and Tony go head-to-head in Episode 6, University. Ralph is constantly doped up on coke and is violent towards other made men. This annoys Tony and his men, but things become serious when Ralph kills his girlfriend, Tiffany. Tiffany was a 20-year-old stripper at Tony's club who was pregnant with Ralph's child. She often tried to befriend Tony, who pushed her away numerous times. Seeing Tiffany dead sends Tony into a fit of rage, causing him to beat Ralphie senseless. Unbeknownst to everyone, Tony feels responsible for Tiffany's death and is reminded of his own daughter, who is Tiffany's age. This begins the feud between Ralph and Tony, since Tony technically is not allowed to beat up and humiliate other made men. Act 2 starts with Tony uninviting Ralph from the Thanksgiving and trying to oust him from the main crew. Ralph takes this personally and goes behind Tony's back, trying to put plans in motion to have Tony whacked. When this proves to be nearly impossible, Ralph begs Tony for forgiveness. While Tony downright hates Ralph from this point on, the current captain of the DeMeo family suddenly dies, leaving Tony with a decision. To smooth things over, he makes Ralph the new captain of the family, which means everything to Ralph. While things appear to be getting better between the two men, Jackie Jr. is falling deeper and deeper into his new life of crime. To make matters worse, Jackie and Tony's daughter Meadow have recently started dating. Tony's wife Carmela does not approve of the match, since she wants Meadow to focus on school and experience life in New York City. Tony is partial, however, since Meadow's first boyfriend at Columbia was an African-American man who Tony was extremely racist towards. Tony tries to encourage Jackie into staying on the right path and warns him that dating Meadow changes things. Jackie lies to Tony and says that he is keeping his grades up at Rutgers and acts like the picture of perfect respect around the Soprano family. Leading up to Christmas, Tony is plagued by memories of his former friend Pussy and struggles to control his temper and panic attacks. He catches Jackie Jr. twice doing things he should not be doing. When he catches him gambling, he forces him to leave, but when he catches Jackie at a strip club when he was supposed to be out with Meadow, Tony attacks Jackie and tells him you bottomed out. On Christmas, Jackie Jr. finally tells Tony he flunked out of Rutgers, further infuriating Tony. Tony turns from Jackie in this moment, fully telling him, I haven't decided what I'm going to do with you yet. This harsh treatment from Tony leaves Jackie running towards Ralphie for guidance. Ralphie sees this as an opportunity to get closer to Jackie, telling him and his friends a story about Tony and Jackie Sr. disrupting a card game and getting to keep most of the money they stole. This ordeal gained Tony and Jackie Sr. respect amongst the mob families, setting them on the path to becoming made men. It is also revealed that Ralphie was supposed to join them, but stayed home because he was sick, another big regret of Ralphie's life. Jackie is inspired by this story and thinks if he breaks up a card game he will be able to gain Tony's respect. Moments before the robbery, Jackie has cold feet and tries to back out, but ultimately decides to go through with it. This decision is the climax of the season. The robbery goes wrong when it's revealed that Christopher is running the game and recognizes Jackie Jr. and his friends almost immediately. Jackie and his gang kill one of the players and shoot one of Tony's soldiers, solidifying their fates. Jackie's mistake makes Tony finally decide what he's going to do with Jackie Jr. Christopher thinks the decision to kill the young man is too much, which starts the shift in him and Tony's relationship. Tony orders Ralph to place a hit on Jackie Jr. once he comes out of hiding. In an act of desperation, Jackie Jr. calls Tony for help and apologizes for what he did, but it's too late and Tony hangs up on him, refusing to help him out of this. Ralphie is able to track Jackie Jr. down and has his man Vito shoot him near the projects to make it look like a drug-related incident. Jackie Jr. was given every chance to stay on the right path in life, but ultimately chose to follow in his family's footsteps. His only male role models were ruthless criminals that eventually caused his untimely death. The season ends with Tony's uncle Jr. singing a song in Italian at Jackie Jr.'s funeral luncheon. This upsets Meadow, who disrupts the song and storms out, calling out this sudden sympathy from the men that turned their backs on Jackie. While there is still an unanswered question on what Tony will do with Ralph, the final shot is of the different families somberly watching Junior sing. This contrasts the season's opening shot of the Soprano house at dawn. While we as viewers started out on the outside, we are now watching the most vulnerable moment these characters will ever have from the inside. Woke up this morning, got myself a gun.